Well, howdy, folks. Your local mechanic here. You don't have to calm down from having a horn blown into your ear, but boy, it sure helps. So, I'll show a little bit of what happens when an airbag deploys, other than the fact that, well, there's a very loud noise. Almost like a shotgun going off in your ear. Besides that, that little airbag module right there, how it all blows up. So what we've already cut the bag off of this. You can see it's all cut up. We've already cut the bag out just so we can drive this thing down the road, because like I said, it drives fine. We just got hit at that right spot, right time. Everything was perfect. You know, the planets all lined up, and the stars all said it's time to deploy, and it did it. So, can you all see that right there? That's how much heat. It generates a whole lot of heat when these things deploy. You don't have to generate so much heat you melt on your connectors, but it helps. There it is. It sure does help. You see that right there? It gets so hot and so fast that everything just melts on the back of this. The wires just melt. The connectors melt, and well, of course you got to replace the spiral cable, clock spring, whatever you want to call it. But you got to replace it. It just got to be done. So many people overlook that, and they're like, no, it's fine. We'll just put a new airbag in. You can't just put a new airbag in and drive down the road. You got to fix it right. So remember that. There's a lot of heat, and you hear people saying they got burned. Yeah, it's a part of that. Because this thing's like a mini nuclear explosion that's controlled. So the newer ones are all, they control it, and you don't have to control the explosion. But it helps if you're in an accident. It sure does help. You know, if there's like a two-stage, which this one is, because it's got, look at it again, 1, 2 connectors on there, so it's a two-stage deployment. So make sure you replace the clock spring. Sorry, I'm still out of breath from that horn going crazy. I just couldn't believe that horn was going nuts. Well, it just drives me crazy. So what you should do anyway, you're supposed to, if you read the instructions, it says disconnect battery, and then you're supposed to discharge the capacitors in the module, and because the module has capacitors in case you get into an accident and say your battery's severed, and so it has the capacitors that'll still discharge and blow all your airbags and do what needs to be done to keep you safe. So they do a lot of that. So they tell you to go ahead and discharge it. Now, you don't necessarily have to be safe, but it helps. It sure does help. I've done lots of airbags without doing it. I know. You should always follow the rules and the books. I know. I get it. It happens sometimes like that, and that's just what we do. So we got to improvise sometimes, and we do it enough that we know. But if you're doing this at home, in your own home garage, disconnect the battery. You can do one of two things. You can disconnect it and leave for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Just make sure everything's good and discharged. Or you can disconnect both sides of the battery and connect the two cables together without the battery involved in it, folks. Don't even try to reconnect it. Just take the cables away from the battery and touch them together, or use a wire to join them together, and that will discharge the capacitors in all your systems. It'll do a reset. So you can do that and be safe too. So follow the rules in the book, and they say, if it says, note, please disconnect battery before attempting to work on any SRS system. Make sure you follow that, folks. Whew. Those horns are crazy. They don't gotta be crazy to hurt your ears and to drive you nuts. But it helps, folks. It sure does help. I'm telling you, it helps. So, more later. We got to get this job done. I'm sorry I got to stop filming because I've got to get this done tonight because, man, I want to get some sleep because I got to work again tomorrow. We got a Saturday working, so All right, folks. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all take care, folks.